What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel here. Today we're back for episode 2 of Rio's Rivals. We deep into Challengers, so the Europa League version of Foot Champs. Harder than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I know our team is below the power curve, but wow, some of these teams were different gravy. So let's get into it. Right YouTube, how we doing? We're going to be doing a voiceover this time around. I just wanted to talk about a few things and a few concerns. So look, we have Rio in the team now. Rio is brilliant for what he is. 10,000 coins for that card is actually insane. People are going to be like, oh, he's a silver. This guy does not move like a silver. You're going to see that in some of the gameplay today. But wow, how he's getting on. Our team is looking okay. It does change throughout the episode because we're getting player picks constantly in the game. By playing Challengers. That's basically what we did this episode. We played Challengers, opened a load of packs, a load of player picks, and our team is really getting somewhere where I feel like we can start going into div rivals, even start playing high quality squad battles if we need to get those better rewards. But as you can see here, we didn't get anything out of this player pick. We got an A3 rated. I think she comes in handy for an SPC later on, but with no FIFA points and with coins being so difficult to get this year, our team is definitely, even for only being on the account 2 days, our team is definitely well and truly behind everyone else. And if I can tell in the gameplay, we get a big pull here. We get a corner, so we also get Kobo, but we do get a Man United woman striker, Tierland. Wow, what a player she actually becomes for us in the Challenger games. She is, wow, I did not expect her to be anywhere near as good, but anything is better than what we currently had at striker. So you're going to see me pour into the squad here now. We're going to change up the striker position, and we're also going to change up the right winger position to get her onto some chemistry. But wow, man, what a card she actually becomes. She's not the worst card. I think she's min price, maybe 20 to 15k. Cheap enough, but Anthony comes out as well. Okay, so we do end up bringing in this Norwegian right winger who also plays for Man United, I believe. She's either Norwegian or from Denmark, but I know either way it gets them bought onto 2 chem, and I was happy enough to run in the Challengers with 2 chem on my wingers, to be honest. Going into Challengers and Foot Champs in general, I was quite enjoying this game before I started playing squad battles, not squad battles, before I started playing Challengers and Champs. Champs was very bad. Everyone sits back in their 8 backs, either if it's a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 wide, or a 4-2-3-1 narrow. People just sit back and they make, it's not EA making the game unenjoyable, but it's ourselves, it's the player base. People are really struggling with defending, me included, but I will not put myself in a position where I have 8 men behind the ball. Not even 8 men behind the ball. Like, most times it's 11 men in their own half. Even just the striker sitting on the halfway line, and then the left mid, right mid, 2 CDMs dropping in, and then they're just using their cam to run around and press you. So for me personally, it's very unenjoyable. It's very frustrating because I'm trying to play a nice creative, because this game is perfect for tiki-taka. Nice build-up play, counter-attacks. I don't mind counter-attacks being strong, but if how strong they are with how people play with just sitting in an 8 back makes it very infuriating. When you have to beat 8 people just to get into the box and maybe have a snapshot, it's very infuriating. So something needs to be done there, because when you're having maybe 8 or 9 counter-attacks a game, you're going to score 2 or 3. And it makes it very difficult for ourselves. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but it's what I've noticed a lot. Going into our first game here, this guy didn't have a bad team. He had that flashback Goretzka, he had Kamavinga, he had Dybala. I didn't show his striker. It's something to do with either the formation he was playing, it just won't show the striker. There's a few formations like that this year. But going back to the people sitting in 8 backs, yeah, look, I don't mind people if you want to play Park the Bus or Burnley football, right? That's your style of play, that's your type of thing, cool, whatever. For me personally, you shouldn't be able to get 9 counter-attacks. And as we've seen here in the clip, he scores with Dybala straight from kickoff, right? That's very, very infuriating for me personally, because kickoffs are so strong. And as you can see here, he scored off my kickoff now, or he scored off another kickoff in the game. So I felt like I was dominating this guy. I felt like I was the better player, but he had the better team. Usually that isn't the case. Usually if I have a better team and you're a better player, you'll beat me either way. But I was way better than this guy. But he kind of just showed me, look, it might be challenges, but you need to relax, yeah, you're in my house. My team was nowhere, especially at this point in the video, my team was nowhere near the standard where I needed to be. I got a bit big-headed, I'm not going to lie, because playing on the main accounts, but when you have Haaland, Van Dijk and Vinicius Jr. definitely helps compared to using Buendia. So, but when people play Burnley ball, it's, you know, it's definitely infuriating for you guys as well. I don't think I'm the only person experiencing this. You should, if you're playing Burnley ball and that's your style of play, I don't mind that. Look, it's a thing in real football. People do sit back and exert pressure and counter-attack. It is a style of play. That's not what I have a problem with. The problem is that is that people can counter-attack you 8 or 9 times a game. 8 or 9 times. So that's guaranteed 2 or 3 goals. And then if I score, Dean Henderson making a terrible mistake here. I think I actually end up leaving soon after that, but going, yeah, I did. This is a different game altogether now. But yeah, so going back to my point, it's very frustrating because you're guaranteed 2 or 3 goals out of your 9 counter attacks, right? Because 2 passes and you're through and goal because you're counter attacking. But then if I score, if I somehow do break you down, you can just score from kickoff. It's pretty much guaranteed, you know. Not a bad shot from his Hugo Ekitike there, but it's a guaranteed pretty much to score from a kickoff. You're quite unlucky if you don't, in my opinion. Another thing that's quite strong in this game as well, that people that they sometimes just play for them when they play these counter-attack formations, is corners. Corners are broken. Look, I just cross it in. If my player wins a header from the corner, great. But you won't be seeing me doing this short technique where I'm there whipping it in. Unless he brings the keeper out, because then I'm just giving them the possession to hit me on the counter. But it's very infuriating when I'm trying to play this nice bit of football. As you can see here in this clip, he has 5 men in the box and he had 3 on the edge. And you can see it again here. I have to find a bit of space. His keeper makes a good save, hits off the post, and he hits out for a corner. As you can see here, look, I whip it in, Endo, back post, and then Antos Santos. How does Santos have that much space in the 6-yard box? I don't know. Look, I'm not complaining because it was on my side. But you're going to see in a few more minutes, in the same game, I score another very similar corner. I wasn't particularly trying to. It might be this one here. It's not that I was trying particularly to aim for a certain spot. I was kind of just crossing it in and hoping for the best. But funny enough, there was just 2 back posts headed back into the middle. And we got a goal out of it. Like, this game is in such a weird state because I know it is better than FC 25. It's definitely better than FC 24. The defending is more difficult, but at the same time, you still don't have to control your defenders if you don't want to. That's what's annoying me, because yes, in like FIFA 17, FIFA 18, you could bring out your CDMs. You know, you could drag them back and defend. If you were a good player, it would make a bit of a difference. But how I find it now, I think this is the corner where I do the back post again. It is, and then Diaz just slots a home. But frustrating for this guy, I understand that. I think he actually might rage quit this game. But it's very, very frustrating when, look at this. No, I'm not even. He scores a kickoff, does he? No, but he walks through my team. And I feel like another thing is the depth. I feel like I play with 90 depth. Look how deep my players are. I feel like the depth is a lie, personally. I feel like you're guaranteed to be stuck on to your 50 depth. I think it's everyone plays on 50. It doesn't matter what you manually push it up to. I think we're all playing on 50. And it's infuriating because I want to high press. I want to press out with my DMs. I don't want to drag them back. I don't want to play that type of football. It's not me. I don't enjoy it. To be honest, I did see this in Rivals a little bit. People sitting back, you know, 11 men in their own half, counter-attacking. Look, It's fine if you do it, but the problem I have with it is them getting so many chances a game doing it, because I don't want to do it because it's not enjoyable. It's so infuriating just dragging your striker or your cam and running down the pitch. It's a nice finish there from Rio and Gamoa there, but I think the game, if it doesn't get patched, and usually I'm against the first patch of the year because it usually fucks up the game, right? I think we're in a state now, if we don't get a patch, we're going to be in trouble because people are getting very frustrated with this game very quickly, and it's because the way people are playing it. We finish our second Evo with Rio there. We have a little look through the Evos, see if we can put them into anything else. 50k for an ice cold cosmetic, by the way, is criminal from EA Sports. But I don't believe there was an art Evo I was comfortable pulling them into, or we didn't have the coins, or there just wasn't one you could fit into now. I think there was an art shooting one for an art +1 shooting, but we had to wait and a certain amount of time we had to wait. I believe I had a little look at some of the other players to see what was going on, but there was nothing there too particular that I was happy with putting Rio into. I believe we have a few player picks here and a few packs, so I'm not too sure what we got out of these. We got a 5k. I'm pretty sure we got a walkout out of these packs. No, nothing great there. We got Johnny. He's actually decent. I don't think he made the team. The team looks very different now compared to what it was at the start of the episode. We got Dan Byrne. Nothing great there though. 80 players pack. We got a right winger. We got Angel Di Maria. That's who that was. Again, not really the type of player we're looking for. And we get a German striker. Again, it's just, he's not going to get into our team. None of these players will. I was looking at Cohen because we needed a left back, but the left back situation is sorted. Coming into our, I believe this is our third game. So we're 1 win, 1 loss. And I was a little annoyed that we honestly took an L because I was expecting myself to go 5 for 5. But some of these guys' teams compared to mine were just way better. Rio there with a nice little trickery in and out. I don't know, guys. I think, especially with the market, because on the main account, I bought Virgil van Dijk for 190k. And in my head, I was like, right, that's cheap for Van Dijk. Van Dijk, 2 weeks into the game, less than 200k is criminal. And he dropped to 150 last night after champs. I was like, right, I'm going to hold on to him. He might rebound. He rebounded to like 170. I was like, right, I'm going to leave him because he's probably going to go back up again. Back up to his original 190. But he didn't. He just kept dropping. Now he's at 146k. And now I'm stuck in a predicament because I don't know if I should sell my Van Dijk and just, part ways with my 50k loss, or will he rebound? I think he will rebound. I think it's just people are getting packs at the minute and they're opening packs, and I think come like Monday, Tuesday, he'll rebound back up to 180, 190. I hope. If he doesn't, I'm just going to have to go. Because in my head, wow, Van Dijk, 90 rated centre back, best centre back on the game. He's not going to go below 190k, hopefully. 150k, sorry. But he's under 150 now, but just by 4k. That's just because we're at a popular time. People are on the game. People are still finishing their champs and getting rewards. Also, squad battle rewards, I believe, came out today as well. And Rush is reset as well. So the market's kind of in the mud, and EA are saying they're slowing down the power curve, but that's not particularly slowing down price on players. What I mean by that is because they're still dropping these 250k packs a day tradable, the 100k packs tradable. So they're still dropping good tradable packs in the store with untradable players packs as well. So we beat this guy 4-0. He rage quit, and I believe that was the last game for me. I didn't show the other game where I lost. I think my head was I had a big head loss after champs. We got this player, Ruiz, I think his name is. He doesn't look bad. He's a pretty solid midfielder. I think he does end up actually making the team at the end. And then we have a few more packs here. So this is from Marquee Matchups, I believe. So I did do Marquee Matchups as well on top of doing Challengers. So we do have a few more packs to wrap up the episode here, but a different type of episode here. You know, it's not live, it's pre-recorded gameplay. It was late last night. I did it, I think it was around 12 or 1, and now I'm kind of just doing a voiceover first. But I'm just in the state where the game where I want to like it. I do see where EA have tried to make the changes to suit what we were not happy with. You know, if you press circle with your center back and you're not going to get the ball, you're kind of fucked because you're stuck in the mud type of thing with that animation. But I also feel like defending, even when I do guess things correctly, I feel like I'm still getting screwed over. Defenders turn like trucks. It doesn't really matter. Like, I have Militao. Do you know what I mean? Militao next to Van Dijk on the main account, and he just turns like a truck, bro. But fullbacks are so important this year. You know, Jeremy Frimpong right back, and sometimes I physically have to drag him over to win the ball off an attacker because you just can't risk dragging your centre backs out, because if you drag them out a tiny bit and you don't win the ball, you're going to concede. It's very rare that you don't. It's frustrating. I'm frustrated with the game. A lot of people are. It might be a skill issue. You know, I see pros and content creators are in Div 1, Div 2 already. I'm thinking how, but we pack a Kai Havertz here. He didn't sell for much. I didn't think I was going to use him in the team. I believe I just quick sell this pack. I checked some of the silvers, nothing too valuable there, so we just kind of moved on. But the game 2 weeks in shouldn't be in this predicament where we're kind of thinking, right, EA need to patch it. You know what I mean? We packed Tillman. Kind of annoying. He was a cornerstones when recording this, like maybe 6 hours ago, so a bit frustrating. We had to get our second walkout here out of marking matchups. It's a striker that's German that plays in the Bundesliga Women's League, and it is Schella, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She's actually very good. I used her in a draft, but I wanted the coins. So we did end up selling her and making a little profit. We actually made a good bit of coins off marquee matchups. I think I started on 2k with marquee matchups, and I ended up finishing up on like 14,000 coins. And you'll probably see it in the next episode. I'm not too sure if you're going to see it in this one. We make a nice change to the team. The team looks very different than what it was. I'm happy with the team in the current state. There's a few players in there that were there prior, but back to the gameplay. The gameplay for me is the most important thing. Look, we're not really getting much content, right? We're 2 weeks in, whatever. But if the gameplay is this insufferable after 2 weeks, we're in a bad spot, you know. And I don't want to give out to EA, because like I'm saying, it's not their fault that people are playing like this, that people are just breaking shit in their game to have 11 men in their own box. It's infuriating, because going back to, not even too long ago, if you go back to FIFA 23 and people wanted to play like that, you would never see 11 people in their own box. Even if they had their wingers on come back and defend, they would still have to manually bring them back. Do you know what I mean? So it's frustrating. We packed Granit Xhaka here, guys, and that's going to be the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.